Incredible Blondes. I'm Chris, and with me today is Rick Tittle. And Rick is a musician from our hometown in the Midwest, and he moved to Florida. So we're visiting him in Florida right now, and I wanted to talk to him a little bit about some of the things he's done in his life. When he was living where we are from, he had a band for years. So can you tell me a little bit about that, Rick?
Well, I've had one for 35 years. Been playing now for over 40. Started out with Bob and his Country Pride band. Then I wanted to go off on my own and form my own band with Jim Newman and Bruce Smith and Jack Gerdeman. Started from there, and over the years had some really good musicians working with me in that. And up until 5 years in October when I quit playing up north.
Oh, that's cool. So you did record an album, though. You went to Nashville and you recorded an album?
Yeah, actually, Donnie Beck out in Las Vegas had me over to his house to record an album. That Donnie was always, you need to come out to Vegas so I can record you. So my wife Tina and I went out to Vegas, and we set aside a Sunday, and I told Donnie, I said, we're going to go to a show Sunday night, but I said, I'm free all day Sunday. So we sat there and visited for a while, and he said, well, I didn't get you down here to talk to you. He says, I want to get you in the studio. So Donnie cut a little CD of about 10 songs, and then he sent me a copy, and I made some copies. And I happened to be up in Terre Haute, Indiana, on the way back up to Iowa from visiting down here in Florida. And I became friends with a guy named Johnny Counterfeit out of Nashville that is a impressionist and comedian and all-around good singer, too. And I got one of their CDs, and I said, well, give me one of yours. Here, I'll give you one of mine. So lo and behold, on the way back to Nashville, the guy playing lead guitar, Gene Breeden, he wanted to know who this guy was on the CD. And the guy that was playing drums for John, he said, it's Rick Tittle, and, made friends with him and that. And Johnny Counterfeit said that, that he was a friend of mine. Anyway, Gene says, I'd like to get him in the studio and record him. So lo and behold, I get that call from Nashville.
That's pretty cool to get that call.
And I thought they were kidding me, And Gene says, no, he says, I really liked your CDs, but I think I'd like to really record you. So Tina and I talked it over, and said, well, let's do it, because Tina said, if you don't do it, you're going to regret it. I never regret it. It was one of the best experiences in my life.
Oh, yeah. Now, Gene has his own studio, so besides, did you say he was playing, what was he playing for the other band? Guitar player?
He was playing lead guitar.
Lead guitar, okay. So then besides that, he had his own studio in Nashville. Yeah. That's basically what this boils down to is, yeah. Right? And it was called Gene Breeden Studio?
Yeah. Gene worked in the early days with Merle Haggard and Buck Owens, and actually Don Rich, who played lead guitar for Buck, replaced Gene in the band, and Gene worked with several other. Gene Shepard is a longtime friend of his that they grew up together out in Bakersfield and went to Nashville together. And Gene worked with Red Simpson, who did a song called Roll Truck Roll and Hello I'm a Truck, and Gene produced that. But he also produced a lot of other ones, and it was really an honor. Gene had a deal in Nashville at the Hall of Fame for the Bakersfield Sound, and he was in part of that this last year. I was really glad about that.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you what, about 4 years ago, because I went down to Nashville, and you told me to stop in and say hi to Gene Breeden. So I stopped in at his studio, so I got to meet him. Seemed like a very nice guy. Oh, and he's still doing some recording and stuff now, so that's really nice. when I went down there and met him, he had some gold records on his wall and stuff, so that was pretty cool. So I'm hoping to meet him when I go back through Nashville again, so that'll be a nice experience, I believe.
One of them gold records was for Hello, I'm a Truck. They got a gold record for it.
Okay, oh, that's cool.
And one of the things that was kind of neat is I was in the lobby area of the studio there one day, and he had a display case and he had a hat sitting in there, and I said to Gene, I said, I don't know whose hat that is, and he said, whose hat do you think that is? I said, it's Don Gibson's. He says, you're right. He said, that's Don Gibson. He says, I was playing a session with Don, and I told him I liked his hat, and Don said, here, your hat.
So that's pretty cool, too. Now, the other thing is you got all these pictures up here. So you've met a lot of different stars and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been around.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, and now you moved down to Florida. So now you're playing some music down here.
Yeah, I've got connected with some good pickers down here. My buddy Neil Eichholz, who retired from the Florida Wildlife, he worked with Johnny Tillotson before Johnny made it big, and he's been mentoring me a little bit and teaching me things that I didn't know before. He got a long ways to go yet, you know.
But basically, you do a lot of singing, and you're learning more on the guitar, right? And
yeah.
then you're just, you just keep improving, right?
Yeah.
The more you sing, the more you play, the better you get.
Yeah, because I'm more of a front man. I didn't have to worry about that. I hired good musicians, to surround me, and I didn't need to really, if I messed up, nobody knew it except the band, and they could kill me for it. But other than that,
you're still alive, so they didn't kill you.
I made it through it. But I learned so much more from Neil and that, and I really. But the bad part about it is being down here now after 35 plus years, I'm auditioning again.
Yeah.
For people that have no idea.
Convince them that you can do it. Yeah.
But I've made a lot of new friends and made a lot of people that like my music and stuff like that. But that makes you feel good.
Yeah. So it's a whole new frontier for you.
Yeah. A whole new,
a whole new challenge.
It's a country boy in a Jimmy Buffett world.
Oh yeah. So, that's funny. But it seems like it's a country area around here, so I think you'll be all right.
We are in the Redneck Riviera down here, right? The part of Florida we live in is the Redneck Riviera, and as we call it, and it don't get no better than this.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we loved the tour you gave us. We saw the alligators and all this stuff this last few days, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, Tina kind of, she'll be working, and she'll call me and say, "Where you at?" And I'll say, "I'm down by St. Mark's. I'm alligator counting." And she says, "Yeah, thanks. I got to work,
Yeah. So your next career is going to be a tour guide for this area of Florida, right?
Yeah, that or else I was thinking about becoming one of them things where you put the girls out on the beach and you oil them up. And then every 15 minutes you go over and you turn them over. I kind of figured there might be some money in that.
Are you going to be like selling tickets to watch or what?
I got a lot of guys that want to go to work for me.
Oh, that's cool. So, but you like it down here. So.
I love it. It's part of Florida that the tourists haven't really tore up yet. Yeah. South Florida, Central Florida is really nice. I like it down there, but it's all tourists,
Yeah.
And we're still we're in the area where if you like to go fishing, this is the place to be. I don't fish, of course, but it's the Florida that's still the wildlife and that. I mean, like you saw today.
Yeah.
I mean,
and what was the name of that? It was
Wakulla Springs, where we went to today, and St. Mark's Refuge.
Yeah, we took the boat ride. That was just wonderful. If you get a chance to do that, we saw all kinds of wildlife. We saw alligators and
everything.
And birds.
Yeah, we were talking about the St. Mark's Refuge and or Wakulla Springs. The Johnny Weissmuller movies were filmed there, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. And,
So 2 Tarzan movies, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and then
Airport 77.
Airport 77, okay.
And, the funny thing is, with you being down here and you and Bruce being down here, you got to see flowers blooming
Oh my God, yeah. I've got all kinds of flower pictures and everything. I took about, 1,600 pictures now, so yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think we're out of time. So I really appreciate you giving us an interview.
All right.
And I want to thank you all for watching, and I want you to remember that life should be an incredible buzz.